Prabhu ji, then
Prabhuji spotlight video.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna.
Matirvidushita deve patadbhi asahishnubihi. Yo narada vacha satyam nagrahisham asatamaha. Since the demigods are situated in the higher planetary system, will have to come down again. They're all envious of my being elevated to the Vaikuntha Loka by devotion service. Those intolerant demigods that deceive their intelligence, therefore only for this I could not accept the genuine benediction of the instruction of Sayyidina Narada. Now, Dhruva Maharaj is feeling guilty and is feeling that actually Devi Devatas should have helped him. But looks like as he was on the path to go back to Godhead, sometimes, they do get envious. There are some instances. Looks like they spoiled my intelligence. So that even though Narada Muni told me, forget it. You're a small boy. Why you are taking this, offense, insult so seriously? Even though Narada Muni instructed me, unfortunately, I did not accept the instruction of Narada Muni. And I went to the Lord with vengeance within my heart. Okay. Yesterday we were discussing. So Devata is also Shine Punya Martha Lokam Vashanti, that is given in the 9th chapter. They have to come down, and here somebody is going up, go back to Godhead. So it looks like Dhruva Maharaj is feeling they've got envious of it. Prabhupada is continuing. It's a fact that the demigods control the different activities of the limbs of our bodies. It's a fact. But actually, we are not free even in moving our eyelids. Everything is the control of Devatas. Everything is controlled by them. Dhruva Maharaj's conclusion is that these demigods, being envious of the superior position of his superior position devotions, conspired against him to pollute his intelligence. Thus, although he was a disciple of a great Vaishnava, Narada Muni, he could not accept Narada Muni's instruction. Dhruva Maharaj regretted that he had rejected the advice of Narada Muni and was adamant in asking him for something perishable, namely revenge against his stepmother for her insult and possession of the kingdom of his father. Dhruva Maharaj regretted the very much that he could not take seriously the instruction of spiritual master, that his conscience was therefore contaminated. Still, the Lord is so merciful due to Dhruva's execution of his service, offered Dhruva the ultimate Vaishnava goal. Devim Maya Upashetya Parasputa Iva Bhinna Dhrik Tape Dutiya Api Asati Bhatir Bhartavya Hridraja Ruja. Dhruva Maharaj lamented, I was under the influence of the illusory energy, being ignorant of the actual fact. I was sleeping on our lap. Under a vision of duality, I saw my brother as my enemy and falsely I lamented within my heart, thinking they are my enemies. Now, this kind of picture, just like we see in the Bhagavad Gita, we have Dhritarashtra having similar attitude toward the Pandavas. And it's so much true today also. People are so much focused on their own self and economic development, their own children's. Sometimes in office, suppose the boss doesn't give promotion and the child comes back home, he rejected me, he gave promotion to another colleague. What do? The parents? They think that boss is the enemy. They're so self-focused, they're not ready to see any reality. Isn't it true? So that's how we have become so small-minded, so cripple-minded. Our creation of friends and any within metal world is something like dreaming at night. There's no meaning. In dreams, we create so many things out of various impressions in the subconscious mind, but all such creations are simply temporary and unreal. Waste. The distinction of good and bad is simply a mental concoction in the metal world. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Dvaita, Bhadra, Bhadras, all Kevala Manodharma. It's all in the mind. Actually, nothing is good in this world. And there is a very strong instruction in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Just like stool. Now you said this is the wet side of the stool, this is the dry side of the stool. The stool know what is good. So metal world, everything is bad. Forgetting Krishna, trying to look for anything good. No, there is nothing good in this world. By higher understanding, one can know the metal body is nothing but a combination of 5 metal elements. In that sense, all the bodily construction in being and that of a demigod are one and the same. From the spiritual point of view, we're all spiritual sparks, part and parcel to Supreme Spirit God. Either materially or spiritually, we are basically one. We make friends and enemies as dictated by the illusory energy. Dhruva Maharaj therefore said, Devi Maya Upashatya, the cause of his bewilderment was association to the illusory material energy. So, what has been happening? Dhruva Maharaj is lamenting very sincerely, and yesterday I pointed out that is a mark of somebody who wants to progress in spiritual life, finding fault with himself. Then only we can grow. But today that doesn't happen. We never grow. I told you the example. We are like Dhritarashtra and our mind is like Duryodhana. We cannot find fault with a stupid mind. And somebody tells, we get upset and angry. Vidura was always telling the faults of Duryodhana for the good of the country, for good of the family. Take care of this child, he's spoiling everything. But Dhritarashtra could not hear it. He was so attached to his son. So similarly, we are also so attached to the Duryodhana mind that we have. We just cannot correct it, and neither would like somebody else corrects it. We get upset. What? My child is special. I've seen people, you tell them as much, your son is getting spoiled, your daughter is getting, they just can't take it. Don't tell that. My child, I know my child. I know my child. No, rubbish. Mayaitat partaitam vyartam chikitseva gataha, you see. Prasad jagadatmanam tapasadushpusadanam bhava chiddam ayache aham bhavam bhagya viparjitaha. It is very difficult to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But in my case, although I have satisfied Supreme Super Soul of the whole universe, I prayed only for useless things. See, he's continuing his introspection. So like that, whenever you do devotional service, we should be introspective. Prabhupada says devotee feels ashamed if he had a material desire for the reason of his activity. My activity is exactly like treatment given to a person who is already dead. Just see how unfortunate I am. For in spite of meeting the Supreme God, who can cut one's link with the birth and death, I prayed for same conditions again. So this is the very beautiful area here, and we can also introspect. And like Dhruva Maharaj, if you want to progress in spiritual life, how much he is lamenting for. There was, now we tell the example of Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada. Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada's father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, once told him, why did he eat that mango? What happened, father? He was only 5-year-old. Beta, that mango was meant for Naivedya to the Lord and you ate it. Oh, I'm sorry. And after that whole life, he didn't eat mango. Small boy, 5-year-old, this kind of determination. Even when he was 60, 70-year-old, great Acharya with thousands of disciples. So mango is the king of fruits. Many times they'll bring some mango juice or mangoes, fruits or some preparation mango fruits. He will never take. I'm sorry, I cannot take mango. So why? I'm an offender. He took so seriously. For us, we do much serious things and there is no offense for us. Sometimes it so happens that a devotee engaged in loving service to the Lord desires a material benefit in exchange of the service. This is not proper way to discharge devotional service. Out of ignorance, of course, sometimes a devotee does so, but Dhruva Maharaj regrets his personal behavior in this connection. Swarajam yachato mo dhyan mano me vikshito bata Swarat Shina Punhena Palikaran Ivadhanaha. Because of a state of complete foolishness, I posited the pious activities. And although the Lord offered me personal service, I wanted material name, fame, and prosperity. My case is like that of a poor man who, when asked to satisfy a great emperor, wanted to give him everything he asked. I asked him only a few broken grains of husk rice. Very nice. I had the Lord in front of me. What I should have asked, give me pure bhakti. Take me back to your abode. And I asked something, you go to a very rich man, the richest man in the world, and you got an interview, you meet him. You say, can you give me 1 rupee? So you could have asked him more. He is such a big man. So similarly, you're meeting the Supreme Lord. You should ask pure devotion, something like that. And he's asking for some silly activity. And Dhruva Maharaj is feeling lamenting. In this is the word Swaraja means complete independence is very significant. A conditioned soul does not know what complete independence is. Just like you have Independence Day. These are what independence. Complete independence means situation in one's constitutional position. That's real independence. The real independence living in is part of our Supreme Personality God is to remain always dependent on Supreme Lord. That's real independence. Just like a child who plays in complete independence, guided by his parents who watch him. The independence of the conditioned soul does not mean to fight with the obstacles offered by Maya, but to surrender to Krishna. In the material world, everyone is trying to become completely independent simply by fighting against the obstacles offered by Maya. This is called the struggle for existence. Real independence is to be reached in the service of the Lord. Anyone who goes to the Vaikuntha planet or Goloka Vrinda planet is freely offering a service to the Lord. This is complete independence. Just contrary to the material is the material overlordship, which we wrongly take to be independence. Many, isn't it true? Controlling the material world, we think to be independence. Many stalwart political leaders have tried to establish independence. But due to such so-called independence, the people's dependence has only increased. The living entity cannot be happy trying to be independent in material world. Everyone has to surrender, therefore, unto the lotus feet of the Lord and engage in his original eternal service. So Maharaj regret that he wanted material opulence, greater prosperity than that of his great-grandfather, Lord Brahma. His begging from the Lord was like a poor man asking a great emperor for grains of broken rice. The conclusion is that anyone who is engaged in service of the Lord should never ask for material prosperity from the Lord. The awarding of the material prosperity simply depends on the stringent rules and regulations of external energy. Pure devotees ask the Lord only for the privilege of serving him. That is our real independence. If you want anything else, it's a sign of our misfortune. Okay, beautiful verses, beautiful area. Thank you.